Hey everyone, it's Talia here. Welcome back to another video on my channel. Today we have another design with me video where we are going to design this temporary nail set, which will soon be available on Ivory and Talia Designs. This video today features two of the new collections from KoKo and Claire that have recently launched. Specifically in this video, we are going to talk about this collection, which is the new Beach Babe collection. And I will have a second video on the new collection that just released today, which is the Fireworks Trio. Using the Beach Babe collection, this is the design that I came up with. I knew that I wanted something bright and fun for summer, but I also wanted to throw in some butterflies with it too. I am just going to get my sizes of tips just all laid out here. So you'll notice that on the top I work thumb to pinky and on the bottom I work pinky to thumb, and that's kind of how I would work if I was working on clients. So I try and lay out my stands that way too. This clip is from after the color is all put on, obviously, but I wanted to show you it because you'll notice that the pinky and the thumbs are opposite on both of the hands, and there is a point to that. It'll make sense at the end when it's all come together, but keep this in mind when we're working on the nails because I am going to talk about this layout quite a bit. The Beach Babe collection features 6 colors, but we are only going to use 5 in this nail design, so I'm going to talk about the one that we are not using really quick. This color is called Rock the Boat, and this is a bluish purple, almost like an indigo type of sparkle with super fine glitters. Depending on how the light hits it, it either looks purple or blue. And the reason I didn't use it in this design is because I wanted that full rainbow on all of the different 5 nails. We are going to start with number 335. This is Party in Slow Motion, and this is the brighter purple in the collection. I think this purple is so stunning, and I really like that KoKo and Claire's sparkle gel polishes really pack a lot of punch in them too. Now I am purposely trying to put just a little bit on this nail. It's a very concentrated sparkle, but I didn't want to build it up too fast because I wanted it to end up looking like a fade. So you'll notice here I'm working on the pinky finger, which is going to be the pinky finger on the right hand, and then we're jumping to the thumb on the left hand, and I'm going to keep alternating like that throughout this entire video. So in case you're wondering why the nails, I'm not working like pinky pinky thumb thumb, it's because when you lay it all out, it almost looks like it's going to be more of a rainbow through all the different hands. It'll make sense at the end. But I did go in with one thin coat, and I'm not going all the way to the free edge because I want the tips to be clear on both of these nails, and I did decide to go in with 2 thin coats just to build it up a little bit too, and I'm being very messy closer to the free edge, and it'll make sense soon why I did that. I decided to pull a bunch of my Glitter Boutique glitters. I'm just going to go through them all really quick here. I pulled Purple Paradise, Ocean Breeze because it had some really nice blue butterflies in it, Lavender Ice, Pink Powder Puff, this Key Lime Green, and then the yellow one that I pulled is just Pineapple. I knew that I wanted to add a few butterflies into this design too, so I grabbed my Magpie Shapes, which is just all shape glitters. There's nothing else in them because I knew there was some butterflies in there. And I'm just going to dump a little bit of each of the Glitter Boutique glitters into these dishes here so that I can just pull them out as I'm working with the glitter gel polishes. I really like the idea of embedding big chunky glitters like this, and you can do it with gel polish. You just have to make sure you're kind of filing it at the end so it's not so bulky. So I did want to go in with some of that see-through translucent type of glitters that you guys know I love. This one is Kiss Me from KoKo and Claire, and it's got like a fine purple and pink hue to it. So I'm going to use this color on both the purple nails and the pink nails. Now this is kind of doing a double purpose for me. This is acting as my base so that I can drop my loose glitters into it and then cure it, but it's also covering up that clear extension near the edge, near the free edge, because I didn't want it to just be crystal clear, completely see-through. I wanted like a really fine sparkle in it, and again, this will all make sense at the end when we have our top coat on top of it, but at the beginning here, I can see my vision and what I wanted to end up with. I'm purposely putting a little bit more glitter where the purple meets the clear nail. That way it looks like a soft transition of a glitter fade, but at the same time, because I'm going to cover it up with some of the chunky glitters, that's going to camouflage everything too. You'll notice when I'm putting the chunky glitters down that I purposely go over top of the area where the brighter purple meets the fade, and then I'll just randomly put them all over the nail too, and I make sure that I put at least one butterfly in every single nail. I love these shades of blue. So this is Making Waves 339, and these blues are fantastic for winter nails, for Christmas nails, for ocean nails, summer nails. They're just so bright and bold, but depending on what type of artwork you pair it with, you can tailor this shade to whatever season it is, which is something that I really like about this particular blue. So I'm going to do the exact same thing on these nails here. This time I'm working with a ring finger and a pointer finger. And generally people's ring fingers and pointer fingers are somewhat similar size. These tips are sized for the red iguana hands because that's what I'm going to be using at the end and for taking pictures. And they actually are not the same size, but they're very, very close. So when I'm doing the artwork here, it looks like they are the same size. So the translucent glitter that I'm using here is called Starlight, and this one has a little bit of a blue sparkle to it. Mostly it's green, but it does have fine blue sparkles in it as well. I didn't have one that just has blue in it, so I grabbed this instead. And for the glitters for this, I originally was going to use that pack of like see-through blue butterflies that I showed you guys at the beginning from Glitter Boutique, but it just wasn't showing up as bold as I was wanting it to, so I grabbed this kind of brighter one, Blue Lagoon from Glitter Boutique, and just added some random sparkles to it as well. And then this way the sparkles were going to look a little bit more blue. The green that I'm using is number 340. Floating is all I want to do. And again, this is another shade that I like for both winter, Christmas, as well as spring and summer. It's just such a bold green, but it would be fantastic for Christmas nails too. Doing the exact same technique with this one, but this time we're working on both the middle fingers. So the middle fingers on both of the nails are going to be the exact same, which is kind of interesting when you do this rainbow design on multiple fingers like that. And it's interesting to look at when they're on the nails, but at the same time it makes sense. And I think it's because the middle fingers kind of keep the design a little bit more grounded. I'm probably just rambling here, but... See-through glitter I'm picking is number 298. This is Lost in Bermuda, and this one has a super fine green sparkle to it, and that's why I decided to use it. I really thought it would pair nicely with this. Now I kind of struggled to find green glitters that matched this Coco and Claire shade perfectly, so initially I went in with the green glitters that I showed you guys, but I also knew that I wanted some more butterflies in here too, so I grabbed these chameleon butterflies again from Glitter Boutique. Any of the chameleon mixes are nice because depending on how you look at them, they're going to change colors. So although they look blue on the nail here, I was really happy once I got my gel on it because it looks a little bit more green when all is said and done on here too. The yellow from the collection is 336. It's called Catching Rays. So I would say this is more like a yellowy gold, but it leaning more on the yellow side than gold. This is another shade that I also think would be great for Christmas time or New Year's nails because it does look like a gold. So the gold would go on the right pointer finger and the left ring finger. I'm trying to work as thin as possible for this because I don't want it to get too bulky. I'm using number 81 Fizz as the transition color from my solid color to the free edge, and also as the background for my glitters. I believe I featured this one in my Coco and Claire favorites video. I love the Fizz color because it has a really fine gold shimmer to it. It also has an iridescent look to it, so it truly just goes with absolutely any color, but I thought it'd pair really nicely with this goldy yellow type of shade. Now I did want to add some butterflies on here too, so I'm going to take one of the shapes from Magpie Beauty, and they're in this kind of pastel shimmery yellow, but again, once we encapsulate these, a lot of these shimmers are really just going to pop. Now the pink shade in the collection is number 334. It is called Beat the Heat, and it is kind of like a fuchsia, but it does have some flecks of like a brighter pink in it too. This is a shade that I think would be fantastic for Valentine's Day because we have our mix of our pink, purple, and then like a brighter pink that almost looks red. So for this one, it's going on my right thumbnail and my left pinky nail. I'm starting with the pinky nail here, as you guys can see. So doing my two thin coats down, just like we've done for all of the other colors. So the shade that I decided to use for some of the glitters is called French Rose, and this one is a brighter pink that matches that gel polish background really nicely, I felt. And I also wanted to throw in some pink butterflies, so I grabbed this mix from Glitter Mix Canada, and I'm just pulling the pink ones from it to add to the nails. So again, the color that I'm using for the clear translucent background here is that 129 Kiss Me shade, and I thought that this would be perfect instead of finding something else because it does have pink and purple to it, which is very similar to what the gel polish base has it in as well. So first I'm just going to put some of these brighter pink shades down, then I'm going to go in and find some of those see-through type of glitters because again, they're a glitter that once you get the gel layer down, they really pop with it too. And then of course we're going to add some butterflies. Okay, so now hopefully it makes a little bit more sense now that you can see all of the colors kind of laid out. Taking a super clear gel, I am just going to encapsulate all of these. Now, KoKo and Claire has their strong that would definitely work well for this. I believe they also have a builder gel too that, again, I think would work great for this. So I just went in with a slip layer down and I'm just painting this super, super thin. You do not want to make this bulky. We are going to file it and get rid of any of those lumps and bumps that those chunky glitters are creating. This is what the nails look like when they are all encapsulated, and I'm just going to remove the dispersion layer on these and give them all a good e-file as well as a hand file too, just to make sure that we have everything all smoothed out. And as I'm filing these, I do run my hand or my finger across each of them just to make sure that they are nice and smooth and all those lumps and bumps are removed. Also, when I'm filing, my main priority is to make sure that this is not a chunky nail and that those chunky glitters are not poking through too much for the person who would be receiving these nails. But with that, sometimes you can file out some of the glitters if you're not careful about it. At the same time, once you get the top gloss on, to me it's not a huge deal if some of those glitters have been kind of removed, but we are going to add some stamping on top of these anyway. This is what the nails look like when they're all filed and buffed, and I thought about stopping here and top glossing them, but ultimately I decided to go in with some stamping. So the plate that I'm going to use is number CJS 48 Sweet Swirls, one of my probably my hands down favorite plate that they have. I love a good swirl plate because you can just put them on absolutely any design and they dress them up really nicely. I love using them on glitter fades or nails like this where you just have like a whole entire nail of glitter and then you're just taking one image or a couple images and offsetting them. So on every single nail for this design, I'm just stamping them either in a corner or kind of in the middle, but I do not want to cover up a lot of those glitters that we work so hard to encapsulate, and I really want the color of the gel polish from KoKo and Claire to show through too, so I'm just doing a little bit of an offset of stamping on here. And my last step is to just top gloss over all of these nails, and now it makes a little bit more sense why we were doing all of the different layers with that really sparkly gel polish at the beginning, with the fade color, with that see-through gel polish, and then all of the chunky glitters. I like how there's just a little hint of the butterflies kind of poking through, but it's not the main focus of this design either. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope maybe it gave you some tips and tricks on how to come up with a rainbow type of nail design like this one. Ivory and Talia Designs launches on July 3rd. We will have a variety of different designs to choose from our summer collection. We will also have very limited custom spots where you can book those and we will design something completely unique for you. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media and Ivory and Talia Designs to keep up with updates.